Hello and welcome back to our Let's Play of Minecraft. This would be episode 25. So let's start the game and see what happens. So far we've been working our rocket. We are 1% of the way there. So it's going to take a little while, but we'll get there. Um, this episode, I'm, as of right now, not entirely certain what I want to do. But one thing I noticed, well, actually, it was a comment, by AK47 4000 that Factorio is a lot like Buildcraft. I'll be honest, I never really played much Buildcraft. Um, and like, no, not saying it's like a bad comment, like I disagree with it. No, by all means. Like, yeah, I agree. It is very much like Buildcraft in the sense that Buildcraft just aims to, from what I've read and from what I understand, automate Minecraft. So you automate the mining, and you automate the smelting, and you end up just getting the raw resources without having to spend, all the manual labor. And yeah, like I agree. This is kind of like a condensed version of that, but at the same time, I think Factorio focuses on something different than Buildcraft does. So in Buildcraft, you are literally just trying to take the repetitiveness out of the things that make Minecraft great, i.e., mining and crafting. Um, but Minecraft itself is still limited to, well, mining and crafting. So you don't have the same complexity, I guess, that Factorio does. Like in Minecraft, you can't build a rocket silo with the intents of launching a satellite into orbit. That's just not something that you can do in the game. Like you can't build little radar dishes, and you don't really. Well, I guess you can sort of build turrets with their little not the dispensers, the launchers things, and then you can just like shoot snowballs at mobs and stuff like that. But it's not like a self-contained turret in the sense that you it aims itself and stuff like that, like this gun turret. Like it's a turret in the sense that it sits there and it will shoot when you pull the right lever, or someone steps on the wrong pressure plate or whatever. But it's not a turret in the sense that it is automated base defense like it is in Factorio. So I think the scale of the game is very different in both cases. Like with Factorio, you've got more macro running a country type SimCity stuff. In the sense that you're dealing with building an entire factory. You're trying to get all of these little working parts to work together and give you technology that, frankly, as a single human being, you really wouldn't be able to achieve ever. Like rockets. Like, you kind of need a team of people to make a rocket. And, Minecraft is a lot more single player or single person oriented in the sense that, like, you make a house for yourself. You mine up a couple pieces of iron ore, and then you build a iron pickaxe for yourself. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing necessarily, but it's just a different scale. Like that, yeah, that's about it. Um, I'm not saying it's bad that you're on a different scale either. Like it's actually like a pretty fun game. I love Minecraft. But just the you're playing on the scale of one person, as opposed to like in Factorio. I'm not gonna say you're playing on the scale of nations because you really aren't. You're still technically one person, but your production capacity is pretty much on the scale of nations when it comes to what you're actually capable of achieving as one person in this game. Um, yeah. And we've got combat robotics. So I might have to work on making some combat robots. That sounds like fun. Also kind of want to work on logistic robots. Or maybe laser turret shooting. Let's do laser turret shooting speed. That's going to be a pretty quick upgrade. And it's probably going to be helpful. And wow. Our green circuit production is just doing way too good. I am actually going to expand it somewhat by doing this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now we should have a lot more green circuits getting taken off the belts rapidly. Anyway, how's our electricity doing? Not great. Let's work on our electricity network. Yeah. Boilers, 7. Why can I ran out of iron. I see. Let's get some more iron. Or let's just wait for iron to get deposited into me. That should be 14 boilers. 5, 10, 12, 13, 14. Correct. Excellent. Now we will need a place to put them. It's a good place. I'm leaning towards here. Thinking boilers along there. Where do I want to put the steam engines? I almost kind of want to put the steam engines back here, which is going to mean underground pipe to there, and then probably a little bit of piping over to there. But that's accomplishable. Or reasonably accomplishable. Excellent. Let's do... Let's do battery Mark II. Seems like a good idea. And also, we've made at least one energy shield Mark II, haven't we? Maybe we should make a couple more? Where are our processing units? Our processing units are over here. There we go. Yeah, let's make at least one more of those. Just while we're putting things together anyway. Now let's see here. Problem. Something tells me we're not going to be able to put a water pump in a location where it will work for those, there was offshore pump for those boilers, so I don't think we can put one there. But I think we might be able to have one facing up and then just pipe over to there so that we can still use this same fuel line. Let's try it. Now we need some pipe, which I do not believe we have. You know what? Robots, bring me some pipe. Excellent. Alright, now we just do pipe and pipe and pipe. Ooh, that's gonna have to be underground pipe. Underground pipe, have it pop up over there, I guess, and then just another underground pipe. Let's get these boilers down. Okay. Did not think that the boilers would just override the pipes so easily. And there we go. We should have electricity powering our boilers, and therefore hot water. How am I gonna do this? Yeah, let's do this. Hmm. Okay. I'm trying to figure out a way to power all of these with the minimal number of electric poles. I'm thinking that would probably be the best layout. Wow, actually that would be a surprisingly good layout, because then I can power electric pole there, and I don't know, electric pole there. Whatever. As long as it works. Can't say I expected that to work out quite as nicely. But that's definitely a good layout for you guys trying to replicate efficient power on your playthroughs. Just like that one offset, it lets you only use, what is that, 4 times 4, 17 blocks worth of pipe. And then you get to just kind of like spread the offset around, so it works out quite well. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Now we are back in the green for production. I kinda want to work on making another steam power plant just before we end up needing it. So I'm thinking I might do something here. Of course, how to pipe it, that's gonna be the difficult part. I wonder if I can still run pipe this. Nope, can't. Cannot do that. That's kind of sad. Oh well. I guess I'm not gonna do that right now. Anyway, how's our stone doing? Stone is very much packed. Alright. I might actually increase our capacity for stone storage as well. Just, might as well. And we've got battery equipment Mark II. Let's do logistic robot speed. That can always be improved. Also, we were making another energy shield Mark II, I believe, so let's keep doing that while we're not actively running around and doing things yet. Or, well, running around and crafting things. We are running around and doing things, but hey, we have completely used up this little stone deposit here. That means we need a requester chest. This will hopefully take some of the crowding off of our stone chests down there. Of course, this also means we need to stop making those shields for now. You can go back to making them, however. Boom. Request. Stone, and lots of it. 1,000 is a good number. Alright. Things are going quite well, I believe. Maybe do a little bit of concrete work here. Very small little bit. Oh well. Anyway. Oh, by the way, in other non-Factorio related news, I don't know if anybody noticed, but RimWorld Alpha 13 came out. So I'm thinking I might start another Let's Play of that, even though I am currently tied up in a Let's Play of Factorio and Project Zomboid. Yeah. Thinking a little bit, might be grabbing a little bit too much for my plate, but at the same time, like, it's RimWorld. It was the first Let's Play I did. It wasn't the game that convinced me to do Let's Plays. That was actually Planet Base, of which I have yet to upload any of my Let's Play videos that I've made. But, RimWorld. That sounds like a fun idea for Let's Play, especially with Alpha 13. Now there's relationships and stuff, you know, the emo mood spiral that happens in Dwarf Fortress that you always have to watch out for. I think that can actually happen in RimWorld now. And honestly, I don't know why I sound excited about that, because the emo death spiral in Dwarf Fortress is possibly one of the most annoying things that could possibly happen to you. So, yeah. I'm not. Yeah, it's an interesting mechanic. You know, you kind of hate it when it's happening, but it really does make the game much better. Just because, you know, it's an emo death spiral. That's like one of the leading causes of death among human beings. Or at least human beings my age. Yeah, I'm not gonna comment specifically on that, but you know, um, don't be emo and death spirally. It's not good for you. And we got people attacking us. Yes, we do. Oh, let's see if we've got anything new and interesting. That is a huge base right there that we've discovered. Wonder if our pollution can get to there. No, it cannot, thankfully. You know, let's go for a little scout base. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm thinking let's try to build a scout base or two out here. Sort of like these little scout bases that we've got there. So, do we have all the materials? Yes, we do. Plus an energy shield Mark II. That sort of rhymes. And it's not like a terrible rhyme, because it's TWO and DO as opposed to something like the Black Eyed Peas, fill up my cup, let's get it up. Or whatever that song was, however that song went. That was a terrible rhyme. Like that. No, that's not. You don't rhyme cup with up. Up is a part of cup. uh yeah, that's no. Like that's the moment where I stop considering you a real artist and start considering you a shill. Well, then again, I mean, like, good job. Like, if you're getting paid money to shill random junk, then by all means do it. Like, that means you're a very good salesman. Like, that's a valid career goal. Just, you know, don't try to hide it. Like, If you are literally making money by convincing other people to spend their money somewhere else, and be proud of it, man. Like, don't try to cover it up with some random reasoning. I guess that's kind of been a question, or not exactly a question, but I've like people say, that band, oh, they sold out. Like, great, isn't that kind of the point? Selling out means, from what I understand, making enough money that you can just kind of do whatever you want. Uh-oh, I don't have any walls. Eesh, that's not good. Let's go back and grab some walls after we drop these 16. But anyway, like, mainstream success, that is selling out. That's also kind of the goal of being in a band or whatever, is just sold out. Like, if I was in a band and suddenly I was at the top of the Billboard, what is it, top 40, top 100, whichever chart matters nowadays, because it seems to change every single day. Like, that would be a success for me. But at the same time, I will have also technically sold out. Um, in the sense that, yeah, all my concerts are now sold out, so I don't care what you think. I don't know, I guess it's kind of the same thing with, like, YouTube videos. Um, like, right now, I'm the indie game develop. No, I'm not. I'm not putting that much effort into what I'm doing. Um, I'm not going to compare myself to a game developer or something like a real job. I am making YouTube videos, and I have 16 people in my audience as of last count. 16 subscribers. That, like, yeah, I guess that's like a loyal audience of 16 people. It's not really an audience that you brag about to someone like Metallica or some shit that just has audiences of hundreds of thousands of people. Or, like, if you want to go to the logical extreme, the presidential candidates that just have audiences of this entire country plus literally half the world, because for some reason a lot of the world pays attention to American politics. Mostly because our president is also like the face of the country, so if you got an idiot president, the rest of the world probably thinks you're from an idiot country. Oh well. Um, yeah. Kind of went a little off track there. But you know, anyway, my point stays the same though. You selling out, like, isn't necessarily a bad thing. If I end up with like 100,000 followers or like 1 million followers 3 years from now, and I manage to actually monetize my YouTube channel to the point where instead of going to work every morning, I, wake up and put on my underwear and bathrobe and my little microphone headset, and that's work. And, like, I don't even have to wear pants. I'm going to consider myself successful, and I'm going to be very happy, and I'm sure there's going to be people that are like, oh, you know what? He was much better at making videos back when he had 16 subscribers. Since then, he's really sold out. And I will say, yep, I may have been better at making videos, but I am much happier making videos now that I make money off of them, so screw you. It's kind of like this game, actually, like, right now, I am literally just running around. I don't even care if there's alien bases near me, because aliens really aren't a threat to me and my power armored shotgun. I have effectively achieved success. I have sold out in this game. I am no longer terrified of everything that is near me. And I just run around and make whatever whatever I need on the fly, and it's not really a problem. And if aliens come after me, or if for some reason I feel like, hey, you know what, this alien base right here, I don't like it, so I'm gonna shoot it to death. And I don't even care. Like at the beginning of the game, I couldn't do that because I just didn't have the resources, the gear, the materials, whatever. Like that was not a possibility that I could do. I was the kid with 16 people in the audience playing a basement show. And now I am Metallica. I am world famous, and I don't even care. I'm standing in the middle of four worms and next to a big biter, and I'm just taking the hits because it just doesn't matter to me. Like, I have succeeded. I am playing the game successfully. Sadly, unlike real life, in video games, you just kind of, you're the only cost is a time investment. Like in real life, you actually have to do effort as well as time, whereas in video games, they take effort out of the equation. That's what makes them so efficient. It's kind of hard to escape from your boring 9 to 5 to slay dragons in Skyrim if part of slaying dragons in Skyrim is learning how to hold a sword properly. Like, that's surprisingly important. I have fenced through most of my high school and college career. Like, yeah, I'm not great at it, but I'm okay at saber fencing, and like holding a sword properly is actually not necessarily easy and surprisingly important. And you play video games for escapism, so it takes all the boring grind out of whatever job you want to escape to. So I'm sure, like, if I was a crash-landed colonizing survivor, like I am in the backstory of Factorio, like I would be spending years, I mean decades, if not longer, if not my entire life, just trying to get that little factory that I had set up during my first episode up and running. And then with video games and the lack of timing and the lack of mortality and the lack of everything else, like I literally took down my entire factory and rebuilt it in episode 2. Some of you guys that have seen episode 2 might remember this. Compared to, like, this factory is the kind of thing that it would take hundreds, if not thousands, of people to build in real life. Like, we basically built NASA down there. Like, one way that you can really tell if a country's got its shit together or not is whether it has a space program, because that's like the super weapon project of the current modern world. If you have the resources and the ability to get to space, that requires such mental and technological advancement that and economic advancement as well. You got to have a functioning economy that's capable of doing all of that. And that's not something that all the people in the world can do. Actually, many of the countries in the world don't have the financial, economic, technological edge or requirements necessary to get to space. And yeah, like I did it on my own in this game. On what is this? We're about 18 hours in, I want to say, something like that, maybe 19. Like, there's definitely a level of escapism in the sense that I don't have to pay any dues when I do what I do in this game. I just kind of do whatever, and that which you old timers refer to as dues, all the old timers that are saying like, millennials aren't paying their dues, they expected to be promoted without actually doing anything and whatever. Like, I mean, to some extent, yeah, like, I didn't pay any of the dues required in building a space program in this game. Like, in real life, I am more than willing to. If I could get hired by NASA, yes, please hire me. I will work 12-hour days back to back, um, all week long to go to space. I really want to go to space at some point. But at the same time, like, there's probably much smarter people than me that are also willing to work 12-hour days and every day of the week. So I'm fairly certain I'm not going to be able to go to space unless it is as a result of me spending vast amounts of money just for the experience, which I'm also willing to do. You know, if I can make vast amounts of money, which is also not necessarily something that's going to happen. Actually, you know what? If I ever become a YouTube star and like become really really big, you know, like the what was it? That big Let's Player that made like several $1 million on YouTube. What was the name? The PewDiePie. I watched like two of his videos, or probably more than two. I think I watched a couple of his Minecraft videos and like one or two of his other random videos, and like it, like he had a fairly interesting channel. I don't think there was a huge, massive difference between like what I'm doing and what he's doing. You know, well, there is one major difference, and it is huge and massive, and that difference is that I just started out and he's been doing it for a while. And I'm not saying that necessarily is a bad thing, you know, like just because he's been doing it longer than me, I can't say that he is bad at what he does. He's actually very good at what he does, otherwise he wouldn't be getting paid seven figures for it. And I'm not saying necessarily that at this moment I can accomplish the same as him, just without putting in any effort, because, you know, it definitely takes some effort to get there. And, you know, I'm sure, well, for now, this is kind of like I want to make a YouTube video today instead of whatever else I'd be doing, playing video games, watching Netflix, or whatever. You know, but like once you start making money off of it, it's work. This isn't work for me. This is fun. This work for me is going down to the university and trying to separate out some porphyrins because I'm a chemist working on photodynamic cancer therapy. Like, that's work. Not saying it's like not fun just because it's work. Like, I enjoy it and I think it's important what I do, but at the same time, well, it's not really. Just gonna keep working on my laser turrets. It's not fun in the sense that I don't do it out of a sense of relaxation. I do it out of the sense of this is the way that I am this is something that I am good at and it earns me money. And I'm sure like PewDiePie or PewDiePie, I'm pretty sure it's PewDiePie because PewDiePie is PewDiePie, not PewDiePie. But oh well, that I guess that's semantics and pronunciation. Like for him, making YouTube videos might be like what doing chemistry is for me. Like, not necessarily not enjoyable, but at the same time, you know, you gotta take a break once in a while. And he might not be able to, you know, because this is his income. You know, he makes videos. That's how he makes money. I wonder if I can take this out. Yes, I can. I am gonna put another miner in here, and his income comes from YouTube videos, and presumably he enjoys making YouTube videos enough for that to be a viable income if he didn't enjoy making YouTube videos at all, he probably wouldn't make any money off of them. Or, would be trying to find a job like doing anything else. Fast food, whatever. Actually, I'm probably not. Like, I probably wouldn't take a fast food job. That's also another interesting thing that I've noticed. Remember that Occupy Wall Street movement where they occupied something and then some random executive started throwing McDonald's applications at them and was like, flip burgers. Well, yeah, except you guys taught us, you guys being, the old, well, I don't want to say old people, but previous generations, that flipping burgers is what you do when you have failed. Like that's not what a successful person does. Flipping burgers is means that you are a failure because most of those people, I'm sure, they remembered their times flipping burgers during the summer when there was just like a summer job and they're like, "Oh man, this sucks, but I got to show up at 9, I leave at 5, clock in, clock out. I don't care about this job. It just pays the bills. So I'm going to flip burgers." And these people are like, "Yeah, that was sucky." And these people have since then become our parents. And recognizing that it was sucky, they're saying, "Come on, man, you got to go to college, you got to get an education. You don't want to spend the rest of your life flipping burgers now, do you?" And so they taught us that flipping burgers is something that it's like low, it's what a pariah does. If you're flipping burgers, like you should be ashamed of yourself. Or like garbage men. Like that's a surprisingly valuable profession. Without garbage men, civilization would probably collapse. And garbage men are actually paid surprisingly well. I looked it up. I didn't think they got paid what they do. In my city, at least. But yeah, they get paid surprisingly well. And I thought, like, why? And why wouldn't more people want to be garbage men? It's just because of the social stigma. Like, if I went to a bar and was chatting up some girls and was like, "Hey, so what do you guys do? What do you ladies do?" And they're like, "Oh, we do this, whatever." It's like, "Oh, what do you do?" "Oh, I'm a garbage man." Like, I wouldn't say that. No. I would probably lie before I said I was a garbage man if I was actually a garbage man, just because of the social stigma. Like, they'd think less of me. And that kind of thing is why people my age, of the millennial age, don't want to get fast food jobs. Like, you have taught us that fast food means you suck, basically. Like, if you're working in fast food, you have lost the game of life. And so you should do some, like, you should always be trying to improve. But at the same time, like, come on, don't work in fast food. That's kind of the vibe I get from the older generation. Probably not a great vibe. Matter of fact, I can guarantee it's not a great vibe. But, it's definitely screwing me over in the job placement other than grad school department. And I'm sure it's screwing other people over much worse. So I'm not saying, "Oh, poor me." Like, I'm doing pretty good, I would say, working in chemistry. But at the same time, like, you gotta recognize your own faults. And I say this on my channel because according to the analytics, which I checked the other day on my channel, most of the people watching this are quite a bit older than me. So I guess, hi guys. I'm not sure why you're watching my channel. Got all sorts of other fun things that you could be doing, but oh well. Right now, I am checking what the combat robotics requires, because as you've noticed, I just built 3 assembler 3s, and I'm thinking I want to make a combat robot factory. Might as well put it over by my weapons factories over here. I don't know if I can fit 3 factories evenly here. Yeah, might as well. Alright, so if we do one there. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, anyway. That was a pretty extensive rant, I gotta say, about how people say millennials are bad, and me being a millennial say, no, we are the products of our upbringing. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I would say I'm a very successful product of my upbringing. I mean, well, I'm still in school as opposed to having a job, which is kind of annoying. But you gotta work your way up, I guess. And definitely a lot more schooling required nowadays than there was before. I'm gonna put these electric poles back there. Like, I realize I've been kind of moving them around for seemingly no reason, but just seems like it'll fit better. Alright, let's make those, then go back to the battery and shield combo that we need. Yep, 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 and yep. Oh, wait. Okay. Let's put this here. This can go here. That can go there, that can go there. Now we're gonna need 3 requester chests. Yes. Actually, yeah. Since I do have a generally slightly older audience, what do you guys think of millennials? Are they all absolutely terrible human turds that should all go die in a hole and are probably going to make the world die in a fiery hole, or not? Um, I mean, I realize that what I was just saying is kind of a pro-millennial argument, but if you strongly disagree, that's cool. Let me know about it. Like, I'm not saying you're wrong necessarily. Like, yeah, we might all just be entitled assholes that can go die in a fire and are probably going to cause the world to do so. Like, yeah, that's always a possibility. The end of the world is always something that could happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Actually, I'm fairly certain it will pretty much never happen, as a matter of fact. Just because, the end of the world has been threatened to happen for longer than I've been alive. That's for sure. And people have a tendency to always fear the end of the world for some reason, because the end of the world as they know it is always going to be there. Except, the end of the world as you know it might be literally the day that college-age girls stop giving you their phone numbers and start calling the police. Because at that point, you are officially old and no longer part of the young generation that can do anything. And, like, I'm not part of that generation, so I can't speak as to how it feels to be part of that generation. But I imagine it is somewhat depressing. I had this one professor, coolest guy ever. I did research with him. And, like, I really wish that I hung out with him more. But at the same time, I mean, like, I'm speaking in the past tense, but no, he's still alive. Like, still functional, running his own research lab, awesome dude. And like I wish I had the chance to interact with him more, but at the same time, if I was given the chance to interact with him more, I probably wouldn't take it. Um, I'm not even sure why though. That's the thing. Like I'm not saying he wasn't a bad person by any means. He wasn't he was a really cool guy, but he was just old, you know. And like I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to be old, but at the same time I just kind of felt weird hanging out with him the few times that I did talk to him, or well, the many times that I did talk to him. Every time you'd always have that twinge of like, what, what's he thinking about me? And like, yeah, it's because he is part of the old generation. As a matter of fact, he was part of the very old generation. I mean, this dude's a World War II vet. Um, Still kicking. I think he recognizes that, you know, we're young people. We're moving on past him, and he has been left in the dust. But at the same time, like sometimes you're cool with it, and he seemed pretty cool with it. Like kind of like let me share my wisdom kind of thing, as opposed to listen to me, you young idiots kind of thing, which is what I see a lot more on random forums. Is just kind of like these old cranky old people that they don't recognize young people as people. They recognize young people as things that need to be controlled because they're just fucking up so hard. And that's just never going to work out well for you. Anyway, with that extremely rant-based episode, I am probably going to end this episode. And remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, idea, advise, and yeah, like if you need a better example of why you should comment, just scroll back to the beginning. Like if you comment, especially early on, like now, if you comment, I am very likely going to address your comment directly on air. And I really hope that you didn't find my method of addressing your comment disrespectful, because I meant absolutely no disrespect. As a matter of fact, I believe I somewhat agreed with you. So yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe. I do advise. Tell all your friends about me, and help me get to 100,000 subscribers so I can sell out and make this my full-time job, and then start to hate it slowly over time as I realize that this is all I can do. And then become old, cranky, and die poor, probably, because all the young people will have moved on to their snapbooks and my faces and chat twits and of the future, and YouTube will be a thing of the past that old farts do. Yeah. Comforting thought, isn't it? I will see you guys later. Bye!